One of the new expected Sword Online series has officially been announced. Are you ready to dive back into Aincrad? Because that is exactly where we're heading this time around. Welcome SAO survivors, it's time for you to strap your nerve gears back on, get into a comfortable position, and yell Link Start. Say hello to Yuzu and Hina, the new protagonists of Sword Online Alternative Gourmet Seekers, the first of the couple new Sword Online Alternative series that we'll be getting soon. Sword Online Alternative Gourmet Seekers is written by YA, which at first I thought that was just an abbreviation to keep the author name mysterious for the time being, but apparently that is their actual pen name. They are the author of the 8th Sun, Are You Kidding Me series that also seems to have an anime adaptation that aired back in 2020. The Alternative Gourmet Seekers series will be illustrated by Megumi Nagahama. It's gonna be a light novel, not a manga, similar to the other two alternative series we have, the Alternative Gangale Online by Keiichi Sixawa and Clover's Regret, that I forgot the author of and it's not in my script, so I'm just gonna put it on the screen. I should not have gone that deep without a script. Currently for the Gourmet Seekers there is no release information available as far as I can see anywhere. However, a synopsis and a prologue has been shared on the website, so let's have a look into them real quick and then we'll talk, because we may even get some cameo appearances in this series, even from the likes of Kirito and Asuna themselves. So, the synopsis goes, and I don't even need to keep the illusion that I'm not reading from a script right now. I'm not interested in conquering Aincrad, I'm aiming to start a dining hall. Yuzu and Hina, siblings who are beginners in gaming, were just looking to experience cooking in a VR MMO. However, due to bad luck, they ended up trapped in the game Sword Online. The choice they made was to master the cooking skill. Together with other players who also love cooking, they formed a party called the Food Exploration Party. They complete quests where delicious ingredients and rare cooking utensils are rewarded, and they take on the challenge of recreating modern Japanese cuisine. They spend their days completely focused on cooking and eventually open a food stall. With creatively crafted menus, they capture the taste buds of even the players who are focused on conquering the game. YA, the author of The 8th Sun, Are You Kidding Me?, presents a leisurely gourmet exploration life in the world of Sword Online. Now, if you experience Sword Online progressive light novels at all, you probably do know from Kirito and Asuna's experiences how much of a search it is to find proper food, proper tastes that they are familiar with. It requires a lot of experimentation with unfamiliar materials, especially, with most floors having foreign themes to them. Specifically looking for Japanese food is not all that easy in Aincrad. So much so that you need a lot of experience and a lot of skill to be able to find familiar tastes for Japanese players. It was one of Asuna's hobbies as well at the time in Aincrad, which eventually evolved into her becoming a kitchen expert in Underworld as part of her most notable accomplishments during her rule as the famed Star Queen. Well done on that one, Reki. So this series is very much exploring that aspect of Aincrad, cooking and potentially more cooking. Although a lot of people are still quite salty that we didn't learn much as to what Asuna did outside of kitchen and bathroom equipment maintenance in Underworld. So let's hope some future United Ring novels answer that. Anyways, I may relate things to the main series just for that audience retention. Thank you very much for continued watching, but let's come back to the Alternative Gourmet Seekers instead. This is what the video is about after all. This is probably going to be an incredible series for those looking for a truly slice of life series taking place in Aincrad. Similar to the Nishida-san episodes in the sense of, what are those people who are not participating in floor clearing really doing within this game? It'll also likely be a great avenue for those looking for a lot more in-depth trivia knowledge and how these more casual skill trees and quests function in this world. But, and kind of a huge but, it's probably a series where we'll likely never be able to gauge the canonicity of, and thus we may never actually get a full clarification on the reliability of all that great information and trivia knowledge we may earn through this series. You see, with alternative series or any spin-off series for that matter, they truly function in kind of a glass castle. The most popular alternative series of Sword Online Alternative Gun Gale Online, that you'll probably recognize, is the one that managed to tread that line the most carefully. It perfectly settled itself in an environment where it simply does not matter one way or another whether AGGO is canon or non-canon. You know, if I have to be pedantic, the main series SAO never validated the existence of AGGO in any way, shape or form, despite having multiple opportunities to. Thus, it never confirmed AGGO's canonicity like it did with things like Ordinal Scale retroactively being made canon. But luckily, AGGO also has not made any significant mistakes, so to say, in quotes, not even creating the smallest conflict with the main canon established information. So, quite literally, Alternative Gun Gale Online by Keiichi Sixawa being canon or not has absolutely zero effect on the Sword Online series, so you can just pick and choose whether it's canon or not, and it will not matter. In comparison, the other alternative series, Sword Online Alternative Clover's Regret, taking place in Asuka Empire, a game Yuki and the Sleeping Knights played before coming over to Halo, covered in Sister's Prayer side story, featured in Sword Online Volume 22, link for that book in the description, hasn't been so lucky. Clover's Regret immediately conflicted with the main series on the premise of sword skills, with Asuka Empire explicitly not featuring them at all in the main canon, but they were featured in Clover's Regret. And then Reki just kept doubling down on that conflicting info by restating Asuka Empire never having any sword skills over and over in various stories, so it kind of became a bigger issue than it was initially. But even still, that was a minor conflict. Who cares? After all, there are those even more unfortunate that have outright been rejected from the Sword Online canon, like the cute little Girls Op spin-off manga series that featured Argo as a prominent character alongside the more Deban squad, only for Reki to start writing Unital Ring and go, oops, I guess Argo never ever played Halo, and just throwing it straight into the not a chance in the canon bin that's on the far side of the room. So yeah, personally I'm looking forward to all the info we may get from alternative Gourmet Seekers, but as is often the case with spin-offs, the canonicity of it will be inconsequential at best, similar to Alternative Gun Gale Online, and thrown into the non-canon bin at worst. But hey, I mentioned potential cameos, didn't I? You see, the prologue chapter has been released alongside the synopsis and announcement, and our story takes place in a location that you may remember from even the anime. Plenty of events took place there. And that place is Algate, the main town of Floor 50. Now, while the prologue itself did not mention any dates or time periods, this mention alone means Gourmet Seekers takes place in the final year of Sword Online, January 2024 at the earliest, since, you know, that's when Floor 50 was cleared, but potentially even later, as players usually take a while to settle into new floors. You know, they tend to wait a couple days or even weeks until the safety net is at least a couple floors above. In fact, later in the game, Algate kinda has become a main hub of sorts for all kinds of players, as it is the second largest town in the entire game, the first one being Town of Beginnings on Floor 1. Algate is also where Kirito's home for a very long time is situated, as well as where Accel has set up his shop. Also, it is where Kirito and Asuna had food together with Heathcliff in search of answers during the murder mystery episodes, which were completely cut out by the anime. So, what I'm trying to get to is Algate is very much a central location for a lot of the events in the series during late game, so it is indeed the perfect location to open up a diner and feature tons of cameos where possible, including Kirito, Asuna, Accel, Heathcliff, among plenty of other clearers, if given the chance, that is. And to be frank, out of all the alternative series, Gourmet Seekers probably has the best chance of, you know, having a chance to feature those cameos. AGGO barely had name drops. I actually don't even remember if those name drops that we had in the anime, 1 or 2 Shinon name drops there was in the anime season 1. I'm not even sure if they are in the books. But in the books, it's like barely even referencing the events. The third BOB, everyone keeps referencing it, never with a name. But in comparison, Gourmet Seekers, it will be taking place in the middle of all the action in Aincrad. If anything, not having any cameos would be the unexpected outcome here, especially considering the line in the synopsis. So, naturally, I'll be keeping an eye out to see what comes out of this new alternative series. So far, it's been over half a day, and the official Sword Art Online anime account continues to not acknowledge the existence of the series, despite official tweets being out in other places. Well, you know, they are drooling over Demon's Crest and other SAO merch like random collaboration pins and stickers or pachinko machines, adamant at making sure no main SAO project succeeds. But if you want to hear more about the disasters the lack of promotion from the main Sword Art Online Twitter account has led to, which includes a lot of manga projects distributed for free on Twitter getting cancelled due to a lack of interest, it's quite a disaster, I'll just link my newest tweets on the matter down in the description. I'm genuinely quite pissed about the way they are designing their marketing in regards to the main account. I think it's a huge shame for the series. But that is a complete tangent, because that was all the things I had to say about Sword Art Online Alternative Gourmet Seekers for now. Let me know down in the comments, what aspect of Aincrad are you interested in the most? Side aspect, not one of the main things like floor clearing and stuff. Is it cooking? Is it mining? Is it swimming? I don't know, something else? Fishing? Fishing is nice. Share your thoughts, I'll be reading and responding down below, and while you're down there, make sure to like the video as well before leaving, please. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe for more Sword Art Online content, and as always, stay cool.